Good morning. Good morning. I know there's nothing behind me. I'm on location. We're at Texas College for a Leadership Training Institute. And so I had to steal away and find somewhere where I could greet you and be here with you today because we are on a streak. We haven't missed one day and we start year 6 in December. So we're trying to stay on track. So good morning. And welcome to each of you who is here for Thriving Tuesday Moments of Encouragement, hashtag veeencouraged. Good morning, Reverend Rochelle. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Tarska. Good to see each of you this morning. And today we're going to talk, and I'm trying to get this in and get back to class, but we're going to talk about what it means to have no limits. No limits, no limits, no limits. No limits on your life, no limits on your dreams, no limits on your your vision for your life. Thank you so much, Lady Clarice. Much love to you as well. So, when we say the words no limits, what do we really mean? Does it mean that we have no limitations, that we're super women and super men? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that our minds have to be able to conceive more than we can see tangibly in our purview, like where we are right now. We've got to be able to see greater than what is, and to know that if we can envision it, then there's a great possibility we can achieve it. And so we have to take the limits off of ourselves. Good morning, Miss Lucy. Good morning, Sister Linda. We have to take the limits off. And we have to say, what is it that God would have me to do? And if God says to me, I want you to do this, or I put this in your spirit, put this in your dreams, then God is more than able to give us what we need in order to achieve that which has been conceived. But if we put limits on it, if we start coming up with the reasons why it cannot happen, we start coming up with ways in which we are maybe limited in our scope of being, that we don't maybe have the knowledge, or we don't have the resources. If we start saying what we cannot do, then the truth of the matter is we will not do it. But if it's conceived in the mind, if it's conceived in the heart, conceived in the spirit, then this is what I know happens. Doors open and people connect with you who know what you don't know, who see what you can't see, they're not bound by your limitations, because those aren't their limitations. And so therefore, when you come together, when you are able to conceive the dream and plug in the people who are able to assist you, then the limits fall off what it is that you're trying to do. I'm grateful for the people that are in my life that are absolutely different than I am. Why is that? Because because of what they know, when you mesh it with what I know, it takes the limits off. And so we've got to know that our limits are only as far as what we do not connect with. And because God has created all things and all things well, God also knows when we need to connect with certain people in order to make certain things happen. And so God will put us in their pathway. That's why we got to stay alert. Some of us are walking with blinders on, and we're missing our connections all around us because we're only looking at one thing. Open your eyes, open your view. Know that there are things and people around you that have exactly what you need to go to the next level. You're dreaming strong. We talked about dreaming strong this week. And yes, you're dreaming strong, but don't be careful that your strong dream doesn't take a wrong turn because you didn't look around you, that you were so tunnel vision that you missed the connectors that could take you to the next limit, the next level. Open up so that you can see what's coming, or that you can look at what has happened with a new lens so that you don't get stuck in the limitations of your past. in the limitations of that which has happened to you. Sometimes we get stuck on what has happened, that we aren't able to go to the next level of what's in front of us because we're so busy looking at the rearview mirror that we miss who's right there in front of us. But when we make those connections, when we're able to look at who's there or to look at the things that God places in our pathway, then we'll be able to make that connection. When we make the connect, when we synthesize, then we can move to the next place and we take the limits off because we're no longer just dealing with who we are. On our own, we are always going to face limitations. We are not invincible. We are not all-knowing. We're not omniscient. We're not omnipresent. We're not all-knowing of everything. So this is what has to happen. That we have to trust the one who is, to place people in our pathway that will take the limits and obliterate them. Say, this is no longer a limit for you. You got a resource problem, this person got the money or knows how to get it. You got a knowledge problem, you got a gap in what you know and what you need to know. There's this person right here who can mentor you and help you walk through that. But we've got to know who those are. And the only way to know who those people are is two things. One, you have to stop conceiving the limitations. Stop looking at the limits and start looking for the connection. Stop looking at the limits and start looking for the connection. If you don't get anything out of what I said today, get that. Stop looking at the limits and look for the connection, because in those connections is next. It's your next level. It's the next step in your dreams that are strong. So I don't know all of who this is for today, including for myself, but I am grateful for people who have connecting knowledge, even if they're not the ones with the resources. They know how to get it. And if they know how to get it, then I can keep dreaming strong, keep dreaming as strong as I need to, because I'm no longer concerned about the limits. I am trusting that God has placed in the persons that he's connected with me all that we will need to do what it is that God has for us to do. And then I'm trusting God that once we do it, God is going to take the rest of the limits off. And there's no stopping what can happen, because with God, the sky is always the limit, because beyond the sky is where God is also in control. So we don't even look at those limits. We just look at where we are, who we need to connect with, and we keep our eyes on the prize without limits. Stop looking at the limits and look for the connections. That's all I got today. Don't miss that. Try your best to be in places and in spaces and in mind and heart space where you can receive what's right in front of you, what's on the side of you, and make those connections. And sometimes you got to connect your connections so that they have a relationship, so that we're all working together and working in a way where we're going to achieve the goals and beyond. Because we didn't miss the connections. No limits. No limits. The only limits that you have are the limits that you allow your mind to continue to conceive, and that you sit in and that you live in. Don't take residence in limitations. Always be ready to move. Stay packed. Pack light. Stay packed. And let's keep it moving. May God bless you and keep you is my prayer. Please share. Like, share, love, share, do whatever you need to do and share. I see you, Dr. Chambers. I see you, classmate. Hi, Selena. Love you. I see you, Evan. I'm sorry. I see you, Sister Benson. And I see, did I miss anybody else that I saw? I think that's it. All right. And I thank you all who are here and that have chosen to speak today. And please share it. Please get it out to anyone and everyone. We know that we are kind of in this seeming plateau mode, but things are coming. So we're in the workings of moving things to another level, and I thank God for the connections that are going to allow that to happen. And so you just keep doing and dreaming and thinking and conceiving. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. Stop looking at the limits. Look for your connections and be encouraged. See you soon.